So we're on design number 4, change of haircut and a change of clothing. So you can guess it's a different day, but it's the same arrangement. And I'm a few days later and we're looking at a different design that I can do with the same set of flowers. Whether I turn this into a series, because I've had quite a lot of fun doing this, or whether you're bored of seeing the same flowers is a sort of yet to see. I'll soon find out by how many viewers we have. So welcome back. This was the design I did in a previous video. It did have tall flowers in a parallel style, and I've taken out the height flowers and I'm going to almost make a sort of elongated crescent. There's a group of the 3 Arum lilies here, and I've still got another 3, and there's a nice little bit of a curve to them. They're now probably about 10 days old. I've got one that's a bit shorter, so we'll start with that one. Whether or not we'll need a support wire at the end by adding something like a kebab stick or a wire is yet to be seen. And whether I can get away with not replacing the foam or taking any of the flowers out is also yet to be seen. So let's see how we can start. Now I'm going to work with the natural sort of curve of the, I'm going to call them Arum lilies. Although whatever I call them is correct, because the Calla Lily is part of the Arum family, so I'm not really wrong by calling them an Arum, although I think we tend to think of the white flowers as the proper Arum lily. So we're going to naturally follow the curve, and if you want to exaggerate the curve, you can use the sort of warmth of your hand just to manipulate the stem a little bit. Now you can peel off the outer skin of the lily, of the Calla Lily, but I'm not going to do it because it tends to weaken the stem structure and it reduces its stem life. If you be a bit patient, you can get that curve quite nicely, and that I think is going to be my taller flower. So let's see if we can get that into position. If they were a little bit fresher, they would probably hold up a little better in my arrangement. But you know, for a 10 or 15 minute video, they're going to be fine. Look at that, isn't that lovely? So we've now created an extended curve against a very massed and heavily structured base. If you haven't seen the video where I make this, it's part of a series of videos, and you can sort of pop back here to the cards, and I will also link it in a playlist. So should you be bored one afternoon and you want something to do, maybe the weather is pretty awful like it is here in Wales at the moment, then you might want to you might want to sit down and watch a set of videos all in one go. So this is going to be my 3rd Calla Lily, and I'm sort of feeding it in between the allium, that spiky sort of allium. The other 2 went in quite well, but I'm going to have to be a bit patient, hold the turntable and try and find myself a bit of foam that's not being used. Don't know whether that's in quite deep enough. Yeah, that's okay. So my 3 Calla Lilies are at different heights. I've made use of the curve and I've tried to get them so the distance between them is fairly similar. Now there are a lot of you, there will be a lot of you that won't like this negative space here where there's a gap in between the flowers, especially when the bottom is really heavily massed together. But I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'm going to extend the length up on the opposite side with some more of that really vibrant blue Delphinium. This is such an amazing colour, and that is going to give me a bit of an asymmetric curve. So it's not perfectly balanced height-wise. We're a bit taller on this side, obviously shorter on that side, and it gives me that really beautiful curve. I've got all that texture down at the bottom, and then because the stem of the Calla Lily is quite vibrant and green, it's a really limey sort of colour green, I've got some, what have I got? Oh goodness me, I've forgotten its name. Alchemilla mollis. So I've got a little bit of that green Alchemilla mollis, and I'm hoping that that used, I don't know where yet, sorry, I just had a coughing fit, can you tell? I'm going to use this somewhere on the opposite side, or I think I'm going to use it on the opposite side. There's a couple of ways I can use it. In fact, we'll do it both ways. For those of you who don't like the curves of the stems and you don't like them being visible, I can use the Alchemilla mollis just in front, maybe a little bit behind as well. Probably, if I'd have thought of doing this in the first place, I would have cut myself some longer pieces. So this is from the garden, and my plan was to do it on the other side. So we can do it this way so that it hides the stems, and for the traditional ones of you, you will probably like this. You will probably prefer the stems being slightly covered. So that's quite pretty. I don't dislike that. My question is now, do I pause the video at this point and go and cut myself some more? Or do I show you the other way first? So if I stand back out of the way, I can get a picture of this, just like that. And then you can compare it by staying to the end of the video where you can see the 3 different styles. So we're really going to town at the moment with learning different skills. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to carry the colour over onto this side here, because what I was thinking is the stem of the Arum lily is quite bright. It's quite limey green, and I thought by using the Alchemilla mollis over on this side, it was bringing the green colour over onto the opposite side. So we're not making a symmetrical design, but we're bringing the link of colour. So this lime green now coming down is linked to the colour on the opposite side. And again, if I stand back out of the way, we can get a photograph of that. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'll go and cut myself a little bit more. So we'll pause the camera. I'll go and cut myself a little bit more. Now, in reality, you can't cut greenery from the garden and put it straight into floral foam. It's not going to hold up. The video that I'm doing today is just for your benefit and for educational purposes, so I can cut it and use it. But I know that that would die within a couple of hours. It needs to be cut, put in water and left to rest overnight, and then it will be fine to use the following day. So don't do what I'm doing. Listen to what I'm educating you about, and I'm telling you, if you're picking anything from the garden, pick it, cut it, keep it indoors somewhere cool and dark for it to recover. I always think it's a little bit like if we're plonked outside in the sun and the wind, we dehydrate very quickly. If we're then forced to go to work without a drink and a rest, we won't cope. So that's the second version of today's arrangement. Keep watching, because I'm going to be back with some more Alchemilla mollis. So I am back. I've cut myself some more Alchemilla mollis. I've cut a slightly longer one this time. Now, if you're not familiar with the Alchemilla mollis, it's a sort of cottage garden flower. It generally self-seeds, so once you've got it, it's going to be in the garden for ages. And it's this really limey green, so it's a really lovely colour. It's a low-growing herbaceous plant, so it disappears in the winter, then comes up in the spring. And it's one of the flowers that you can cut on a fairly regular basis, and it will keep flowering. I'm going to start this time behind. Did you notice that Arum lily had a little bit of a move then? And that's probably because I'm trying to force flowers into the base. So we're going to go now with a little Alchemilla mollis that's a bit lower. I think the common name is lady's mantle, and it is a really handy one. It works well in hand-tied bouquets. It's a nice filler for floral designs. Now, the difficulty I've got now, oh, I know what's happening. I'm right on top of the leaf, so I need to just work my way back slightly to find the foam. I've got that really large flat leaf there covering a part of the foam. So we've now got a little bit of that linking sort of colour between the Alchemilla mollis, that really limey green colour on one side, and the green on the opposite side. We don't have to link it through the middle. This is a design that's grouped. It's a bit more of a modern style. And it's really a combination and a good example of both positive and negative space. So in the taller pieces, we've got plenty of space in between. We've got lots of gaps in between the flowers. And then at the base, everything is really close together. We call that massing or basing. It's quite a fashionable way of arranging wedding flowers where we don't include a container at all. But it shows both negative and positive space. And I know very traditional arrangers just don't like the stems being seen. I think when it's a structural flower like an arum lily, when it's a big flower like a bird of paradise or an allium, I think it works really well to have the stem showing. We often pay a lot of money for those big statement flowers, and I think hiding them amongst traditional everyday flowers spoils that impressive look of that individual flower. It's quite a different flower. It looks unusual, it's slim and slender, and it's got nice personality and character, and I think we should show it off, particularly when they're long like this. So this is design, I think, number 4. Do I do another one? Do I do something more traditional and long and low? Maybe. But if you're fed up of seeing them, that's okay too, and you can let me know in the comment box that you don't like seeing the same flowers over and over and over again. I really enjoyed myself. I keep thinking of different things I could do with the same flowers. So as ever, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so, because it helps other people find us and it helps the channel grow. It tells YouTube that you really like my video, so it shows it to lots more people, and then I get a lot more views. If you can give me a like, or more importantly a comment, that would be brilliant as well. And I don't mind it if it's negative comments, I don't mind if it's questions. If you don't like something, that's fine. You can tell me you don't like it. I don't get offended. So thank you as ever for watching. I'll see you for the next tutorial very soon. Remember that the main video is on a Sunday around 12 o'clock. Could be any time really, but we try and get it out at 12. And then there's a members only video that sometimes comes on a Saturday or might come later in the week. And there's some live videos for the members channel as well. And if that hasn't confused you, and that's not too much information, don't forget there are online courses that you can participate in too. And you just need to follow the link to the website, sharondower.com. See you soon. Bye for now.